Hey everyone, I'm taking you today into our kitchen to share our recipe of calamari that we make every Christmas Eve. This is a recipe that's been in our family for generations and I can't wait to share it with you. The most important part of this recipe is the squid calamari. We're using 2 pounds, but you can use however many pounds you need for how many mouths you're feeding that day. Then you need a couple other ingredients. You need tomato sauce, you need crushed tomatoes, tomato paste, you need capers, garlic cloves, Italian parsley, and a couple other items that are really helpful in your kitchen: a cutting board, a nice knife, something to drain your capers, and a mini chopper, which helps to mince the Italian parsley, the garlic, and the capers together. That's why it's really nice to have a farmhouse sink. You want to open up the bodies like this and really clean inside each one. Once I do that, I clean inside, I end up putting it back in this little bowl I actually got from IKEA. Super nice for this. So sometimes inside you stick your fingers in and you find some interesting things. So I make sure that I get out anything that is like looking like that kind of is fleshy, because it won't taste good. And when you cut the bodies into rings, you can get it out that way too, but you really don't want to be eating that. So this is the part that's really important as well. You need to dry them really good. So I get a cutting board and I take paper towels and I put it on there and I sort of wrap them up like a little present and pat them dry and really let them dry before I cut them, so that you get some of that excess water, because if you don't, when you go to cut them, they'll be way too slippery and wet. So now you want to cut the bodies and make rings, and that's how you get those nice little calamari rings that you see at the restaurant when they do the fried calamari. So you just want to take the bodies and you want to cut them so they're about this size, because you want them to be a good enough size that they're not going to get lost in the sauce with the angel hair pasta. Then I'm going to go ahead and put these all back in the strainer because I want to give them one last clean. And the tentacles, I'll just do like a rough chop to make them a little smaller and more edible. Notice that we don't do a lot of tentacles, we do mostly the bodies of the calamari because not everyone's a huge fan of these, but they are really yummy once they are cooked in the sauce. But you need to make them a little bit smaller. So I just kind of cut them up. Just to make them a little more small. Why do I clean them again? Because once they're cut and open, you can get inside and get any remaining grit or extra sort of, I don't know if it's the skin or whatever it is, but I take that out. So it's just nice and clean. And you can kind of feel around to feel if you feel any rough spots. And like there's a little one right there. And just get that out. So when you bite down, it's nice and chewy and smooth and not anything hard in your mouth. Okay, then you're gonna transfer them to the paper towel one more time to dry them. T-card coming through. Dry them good. One last time. So I put a paper towel in the drainer and let them again dry really good. Soak up all that extra moisture. So I let it sit for a couple minutes to let it dry, and that's when you then get a glass of wine. Okay, here comes the fun part, putting all the ingredients, getting it ready for the sauce. So you drain the capers. I use garlic, lots of garlic. We love garlic in our family. I use 2 of these packets, but one would probably be just fine. And then I get the sauce open and the tomato paste, something my grandmother taught me. is using water to thin it out. So putting it in a bowl and then thinning it out. Then get your parsley ready, put it in your little chopper, and you are ready to go. So I put olive oil in my Le Creuset pan, and now comes the yummy parsley, capers, and garlic.
A little water.
The key is to put it on medium heat because you do not want your garlic to burn. That is super important. If you have burned garlic, the whole sauce will taste really bad. So you want to keep an eye on your garlic. Just kind of move it around in the oil with the mixture. Just cook it slightly. Okay, now it's time to add the sauce. And this is when it's key to have the tomato paste be thinner. So I added that water to it, so when that goes in, it dissolves into the sauce much easier. Give it a stir, and look how pretty. It looks like Christmas in there. Red and green. Now it's gonna look a little different after the calamari goes in. So at first you may say, the oil looks interesting in there, but it will all absorb and take on the flavor of the calamari, and it will become a really, really nice caper red sauce with the calamari. So now you want it to come to a boil, and then you want to turn it down to low, medium heat, and you're going to add your calamari to the sauce. Okay, so you mix it all in together. It's gonna look really thick right now, but I'm gonna show you in a little bit how after you let it simmer for about an hour, then taste test to make sure they are cooked, and you'll have a beautiful calamari sauce and dinner. Okay, so here's the key. You have to taste test the little rings to make sure they're not getting too soft, but that they are cooked. So I take one out and I put it here. Perfect. So you have to serve the calamari with angel hair pasta. It's the best. Grandma's ladle. There you go.